Sure I do. I know that it was invented after World War II, and then after that they improved the atom bomb and called it the H-bomb because it had hydrogen. A little bit. When all that stuff first came out, birth control was first. The heart transplant was in the 60s, I believe, and it was a real big deal. The first patients that got heart transplant didn't survive for very long, but it was amazing that they even survived at all for any length of time. And then they got it. They perfected it. People survive for a long time now. Brown versus the Board of Education?
Yes.
Yeah, I do, and that was about segregation, and that was when the Supreme Court finally said that schools couldn't be segregated anymore, and they had to remove segregation, and black people could go to the same schools as white people, and that was a big deal down south of the Mason-Dixon line in Virginia, and North Carolina and South Carolina and places like that.
These things got to be litigated in court because they couldn't agree on it. The states wouldn't give in, and each and every one of them became, went to the Supreme Court ultimately.
He's my spokesman.
Endeavor to get the space program going, and Russia developed
The Sputnik and was the first one that went into orbit before the U.S. put anything in.
And were we not happy that they beat us to it because we're supposed to be so
Well,
far
certainly
in
you were not
advance?
happy. Somebody beats you, you're never happy, are you?
That's right. No.
Sputnik, yeah, 1957. The Russians put up a basketball-sized satellite. And that was a big surprise to everybody. We Americans didn't think that they were that far advanced, but they were. And it took us a couple of years to even get something that small up. By that time, they had I think already orbited a man in space, and his name was Yuri Gagarin.
Eisenhower's presidency, we got off from school to watch,
Really?
and I was the only one of all my friends that watched it. Truly watched the inauguration. It wasn't very exciting for me, but I did watch it.
So
Remember, was every time I opened the paper, Eisenhower was playing golf. That's
He was a Republican. He had been the Supreme General in World War II for the United States, for the Allies, and he was very popular, and he was easily elected the president. He was the president for 8 years, from 1952, I believe, to 1960, when Jack Kennedy ran and won the presidency. His presidency was pretty good. There was a relative peace. The Cold War was on with the Russians, but there were no real major wars. We finished with Korea in 1952 or 53, so it was a relatively peaceful time, although the Cold War was on.
Eisenhower was not a president per our normal realm of presidents. He became president because he was a
popular person.
popular because of his effect in World War II. He guided the European theater against Germany, and he won
effectively help win the war as Supreme Allied commander.
But he was in the service too, right? So he kind of was.
What do you
he in
mean
the
too? He was a general in the
Yes,
army.
I know.
He was a career military man.
So then he knew that kind of stuff about going in different countries
He
and everything.
knew
right?
about foreign policy.
Yeah, that's what.
Okay,
I meard.
if you want to say that.
Yeah.
But he didn't know how to run a country, a government. So he was effective, but he was not a politician.
Little Richard and Rock Around the Clock. Who did that? That was the biggie.
I just don't remember when color TV came about. It obviously was in the 50s, but I can't attribute or attest to when.
Loud, crazy music going back and forth. Elvis was on. Oh, my baby Elvis, you know. Dance to him, and Bandstand started on TV or radio first, and then TV, and they had all them shows.
Up in the city of Buffalo, you had two channels back in the 50s. Channel 4 and Channel 2. CBS and NBC.
The TV was, there were only 3 major channels, and you had to have a big antenna on your roof to receive the signal. All the popular comedy shows and sitcoms were all live with live audiences. And it was pretty rudimentary by Elvis Presley came along. The first rock star was a guy named Bill Haley.
That was it in the comments.
He had a band called the Comets. And then Elvis came along, and
But later.
who was the guy that got killed in the airplane crash?
Buddy Holly.
Buddy
Buddy Holly.
Holly. And rock and roll was pretty king by today's figures then.
Conflict between North and South Korea, and U.S. got involved in defending because North Korea came across the 38th parallel, invaded South Korea.
Now, were you in the army when in Korea?
Not, I was in the time frame, but Korea started early 50s. I went in 54. Korea was actually somewhat winding down, but I didn't end up there. I ended up in Germany. But so the U.S. got involved, pushed the North Koreans back over the 38th parallel, and then China joined forces with North Korea, and the massive amounts of people in the military from China come in and overrun Korea again, or the 38th, went across the 38th parallel. And then they went into, finally got into discussing a peace. And it went on for months, I think even a couple of years, before they finally agreed that they would have a 38th parallel would be the border, and they'd have a buffer zone either side of that, and troops would patrol either side of that 38th parallel. But to this day, Korea is still divided.
That started in 1950. North Koreans invaded South Korea. And we sent troops and General, what was his name? I'll think of his name in a minute, but we sent a very famous general to command our troops. And we
again, that was very similar to what McCarthy was trying to do, and that is to weed out of the government anyone who had communist affiliation, un-American activities.